Situations where you can discuss an employment-related settlement agreement and make negative comments about your employer. Part 2. I'm Richard Hiron, also known as the Hironator, and I'm an employment law solicitor. We're talking here about people whose job it is to advise you on the settlement agreement and the circumstances surrounding the settlement agreement. So it is a given that by law you have to get independent legal advice from an authorised advisor on the settlement agreement and what it means. So this could be a solicitor, a chartered legal executive, an advice centre worker, or a trade union representative, as long as they are authorised to give you the advice. So it would be very, very difficult to get that advice if the settlement agreement did not allow you to. We're then looking in a wider context. So say, for example, that there is a tax impact on you by signing the settlement agreement. In that case, you might need to go to an accountant or an independent financial advisor to get advice from them on the financial aspects of everything. It's also possible that the circumstances leading up to the settlement agreement being offered, and perhaps even the settlement agreement itself, could have been very stressful on you, or it could have intensified an existing condition that you have. In that case, you might need to discuss it with a medical professional or a therapist. So it might be possible to actually include them in the settlement agreement as people who you can discuss the settlement agreement with. However, it is important to remember that you are the one giving confidentiality promises in the settlement agreement. So if those confidentiality promises are breached, even by a third party, such as your legal advisor, your medical advisor, an accountant, an IFA, a therapist, etc., then you will be the one responsible to your employer for that breach of the settlement agreement. That said, you may have a claim against the person who actually breached the confidentiality as well. So the key takeaway here is be very careful what you say and always make sure that the person who you are discussing the settlement agreement with owes you a duty of confidentiality that they are not going to breach. I hope that's explained the situation in a bit more detail. But in the meantime, if you're finding a settlement agreement hard, bring it to Richard.